Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So, we are pretty much entering into the game saying Trump is the nominee. We why wait for the national convention? Well, just clarify it now. Donald Trump running against nobody. Okay? Nobody. Unless something happens to him legally, there that will affect the nominee. But however, there has been many cases where the nominee in some state elections has been chosen by state conventions or state primaries, but that nominee can forever any reason can't run in that said election, so the national committee or the national convention chooses someone else. That said, what if in after July 18th, the national committee selects another said something happens to Trump, whether he goes to gets arrested or he's unable in any way to run his campaign and run the election, what would happen? Well, first off, that is a very long run. So far, that isn't happening, and right now we are just feeding into what the left wants us to worry about. Right now, we need to optimize, and I think honestly, we need to find a running mate that's going to make good news in the media. And we have come up with a top 4 option selection pick. Now, a reported short list has included Byron Donalds, a representative from Florida, Tulsi Gabbard, a representative from Hawaii, Kristi Noem, the governor of South Dakota, and finally, Senator Tim Scott, a presidential candidate from South Carolina. Now, looking at these 4 candidates, I'm going to take some water. I'm dealing with a cold. I have made my views and made my points in the past on how I really feel about House of Representatives, basically House candidates, House House politicians, Byron Donalds, Tulsi Gabbard. However, I will tell you, if Donald Trump had to choose someone from the House of Representatives, I would have rather that be them those two. Mainly because first off, they are mentioned in the media a long time. Byron Donalds has a huge following, a huge admiration to people of Byron Donalds. Now, I don't really like what the RNC is trying to push, and this is what the GOP establishment wants. Now, even the Trump base of the Republican Party is like, you need to push for a woman, you need to push for a person of color. And I'm like, really, guys, that's not going to get them to go out and vote. People care less. The Democrats tell you and tell us, we need to go and elect more women. We elect women. Okay, guess what we do? We elect women. We got the very first governor, female governor of Arkansas, and guess what? They treat her like trash and garbage across the United States. Well, they get you. We did what you asked for. We voted for a woman. Very historic moment for the state of Arkansas, if you ask me. So really, it's not about women. No, it's not about black African Americans or minority groups. It's about black African American groups and other minority groups, along with women, that are indoctrinated on the Democrat criteria. Guess what? If you believe everything that Democrats believe in, you're a woman. If you believe everything, if you believe that you are an oppressed victim and that you are a minority and that you need to rely on us to protect you, guess what? You are a good person. Really? Yeah, like literally. And they don't like to, they call Byron Donalds and Tim Scott just screwed up in general. And they're like, they don't understand. We have Joy Behar going, they're so confused about today's society. Or today's society, yeah. I think they're set straight. They know what Joy Behar and the Democrats want them to do. The media, they want these two men to go and follow the pack, right? Follow the duck line. Go and huddle up in the duck line. If you can't even go out and form out your own opinions. Nope, because you're a minority group. You have to vote for us. You're designated to vote for Democrats. Isn't that racially oppressive? Think about it. Oh, wait, that can't be racially oppressive because Democrats are never racist. That's the theory, guys. That is the theory that is being played. Democrats can say what could be thought of as racially motivated or racially charged. But in the end, we know that they never mean it to be racist because they have a fat letter D right by their name. And that fat letter D supposedly means no racism. Nope. I think it's total manipulation and total advantagement. So no, I think the RNC and whoever is encouraging Trump to choose his VP based on the ethics of the person's color and gender, I think that's stupid. Like Biden choosing Kamala Harris because she's a supposedly black Jamaican Southeast Asian woman. No, choose someone that you know will lead. Sure, Kamala Harris was a senator for 4 years. I guess she's somewhat qualified. That 4-year senator wants to go run for president. You go and ask me. But yeah, I think Byron Donalds would be the best one on this list. I like Tim Scott too. However, I do worry that Tim Scott is going to give a knee to the establishment here and there and kind of distract himself from Trump. Mike Pence was so obsessed, so absurdly obsessed about following orders, doing what's expected. He reads a script. He has his lines literally rehearsed by the GOP establishment. We don't like people like that. And I would say Tim Scott's not totally like that, but I can see him doing a little bit. So I would say Byron Donalds on this list for sure. I like Tulsi Gabbard, although she is an independent, former Democrat that voted for Joe Biden in 2020. Frustratingly, but now she has awakened. I would say, you know what? I would say maybe we can have her be a future Republican star in the future. But first we need to start from level 1. Like, first off, a cabinet position. She's probably like, I will endorse Republican politicians, but I wouldn't really want to call myself a Republican. That's fine. But how to, once again, get her into the game is offer a position, a good position. Hey, you know what, Miss Gabbard? We respect your opinion. You don't have to join the GOP. We respect you anyway. How about you take this position? That's basically creating terms. All right. Then we have others that Trump has basically had really good interest. Like, first off, Ben Carson. Ben Carson would be a perfect individual when it comes to winning Michigan. And I think Michigan Democrats are totally weak. Like, right now, they're not in a good position. If they weren't weak, Joe Biden wouldn't have been receiving a bloodbath in that state in those on Super Tuesday. So that's a lot of people have been pushing for Ben Carson. I say that's a good idea. Once again, I would put him up on that list. I would say Carson versus Donalds. And once again, the establishment and the RNC will say, oh, you guys are putting them up there, 2 black men. It's not because they're black. It's because, once again, they've become huge, outspoken figures. Who cares about their race, for the crying out loud? And I think Mr. Donalds and Mr. Carlson find it so annoying that the RNC continues to point this out. Oh, black Republicans, so beautiful. No, I don't care about their race. We shouldn't care about the race. Forget it. It's cringe. It's ultimately cringe. And I think it's more cringe. We have we're talking about Byron Donalds, and the one thing we think about them is not their accomplishments and not the things what they do. It's their race. That's an insult. A complete insult. These men did many good things for our country. And the one thing you are selecting the major position for, and they're wondering, I wonder, out of my whole entire career, what accomplishments I've done. And you find out that none of your accomplishments is getting you to that position. It's because of your race. How shunning is that? What a letdown. It's like they're being used. It's virtue signaling, and it's dumb. Preschool virtue signaling. So cut it out. Yeah, I'm saying Ben Carson and Byron Donalds because we know for sure these 2 men are loyal to Donald Trump. We know that they're not going to pull a Mike Pence and read their script be given by the GOP establishment. I am also a fan of Marco Rubio. If Donald Trump wasn't running in 2016, I would totally vote for Marco Rubio, although I was a minor back then in 2016, barely know what was going on. I did know about Donald Trump in 2016. Great year, by the way. So yes, I would totally go for Marco Rubio, though. Not to mention Marco Rubio carried my state. But reason being, I kind of follow his platform. I would identify as a Christian Republican, a Christian right, on the Christian right. And Marco Rubio, Senator Rubio, has kind of aligned himself with the Christian right. And I kind of agree with everything that he says. I would call him a Santorum Republican. And that's what I kind of identify as when it comes to Republican Party. A Santorum Republican is usually a Republican who follows Christian values, Catholic, Protestant, Christian values of some sort, and mainly align basically their politics of the Republican Party based on religion. So yeah, I would define myself as a Santorum Republican. I am pretty religious, and I wouldn't say if I wasn't religious at all, I'd still be a conservative, but more so because I believe this world's going downhill. This is truly the end times, guys. I am telling you. It was never like this. I don't want to make this a video. We're talking about vice presidential pick here, and I don't want to make it into a doom and gloom. But I'm just saying, we have different perspectives of where our country is going, and how we are supposed to, once again, fight and bring our country back together. So, before we end this video, I want to see. Ruled out, meaning Trump's not going to choose these people. Well, ruled out by Trump. Does that mean he's not choosing Vivek? Well, people have been saying Vivek. Trump loves Vivek. I don't wonder what ruled out means, but in this case, because I highly doubt that Vivek, it has been ruled out. But a lot of people are saying cabinet position, and I agree with that. Vivek is just too new. And he's learning. He's entering the political field, and just like everyone else, you can't just jump on to level one. So yes, I would say cabinet position for sure. But Vivek, I love Vivek. I'm a great fan. But I would totally say no for vice president. He's just too new. And I think he would agree. Many people would agree also. So, yeah, these are primaries. Nikki Haley, for sure. I am ruling that out. No. I would be scared if Trump chose Nikki Haley because there goes his campaign. And thankfully, we have his son, Donald Trump Jr., and his closest allies saying, you better not choose Nikki Haley. So, I'm really hoping that please, Mr. Trump, President Trump, please listen to your brother. Listen to your son, listen to your loved ones and your close advisors. Do not choose Nikki Haley. She will destroy your campaign. You defeated her, but she will defeat you if you choose her as your vice president nominee, as your running mate. And you'll lose to Biden if you choose Haley as your running mate. And it won't be Mr. Biden beating you. It will be Nikki Haley beating you. Because it was Nikki Haley's credit of what's bringing Trump down in 2024. So, anyway, what are your thoughts? Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next political episode.